Good morning and welcome to Teal House Farm. It is early this morning and we are getting out of here to head to town for therapy. Today is a big day for us. Grammy and Grandpa Dan are making the long trip all the way from North Carolina to come and visit. We don't get to see them very often. This is my parents, if you're new here, by the way. We get to see them once, sometimes twice a year if we're lucky. So the kids are super excited to see them and I am as well. But the house is in a little bit of a state of mess because I have been out of the house every day for almost the entire week, so way behind on chores. So I got up early to try to catch up a little bit before they get here, and also to pack for therapy because waiting in a waiting room for 2 hours is really hard with a lot of kids if you aren't well prepared. So I'm packing tablets. The kids who don't have therapy today are just gonna watch a movie on their tablets while we wait, so that way we don't disrupt the people around us. Packing water bottles and breakfast. We're leaving early, so we're gonna have breakfast when we get there. So I'm gonna pack some applesauce pouches. I packed some yogurt, and then I have a buy one get one thing on my McDonald's app. So we're gonna get a bunch of breakfast sandwiches for super cheap. So it'll be a special treat for the kids. We get everything put in the car before we wake everybody up, get the dog fed, we take care of the animals outside. Then I'm gonna start pulling people out of bed. I made some of the kids who are harder to get up sleep in their clothes, so all I have to do is just get them to roll out of bed and brush their teeth. And then we should be ready to get out of here. Sam redid the backsplash in the kitchen, which is another reason why I'm a little bit behind on stuff. Had a little bit of a construction zone. It looks awesome, but we need to clean up this construction zone. My burn barrel is just absolutely overflowing with cardboard boxes and things left over. So we're gonna get all this outside real quick and get it burned down before we are out of here for the day. We do not have access to recycling where we are. The large cardboard boxes I'm saving for my garden, but these smaller pieces, they're too small to put in the garden because they'll just blow away. Or if they have a lot of print on them, I don't really want that decomposing in my garden, so that's all going outside to be burned. We try to stay away from using plastic products since I can't recycle anything, so we can burn the paper and the cardboard, and then we compost food scraps, and then everything else has to go in the trash can. I made quite a mess with my boots because I didn't take them off coming in and out, so now we gotta mop the floor. We just kind of push the laundry over in the corner. We will fold it when we get home. I don't have enough time to do it this morning, but that already is looking better. The baby managed to poop and spit up all over herself last night, so she needs a bath before we leave in this morning because she is stinky. So I get the sink filled up and get the towel out and some baby soap, and we're gonna get the baby up first and get her a bath and then feed her again because she's gonna absolutely hate bath time like most babies do. Give her a quick little scrub down, which she does not appreciate, but she smells a whole lot better. She's getting big fast. She's already almost a little bit too long for this sink, which is crazy to think that just 7 or 8 weeks ago when she was born, she fit really well. I don't like washing babies in our bathtub because I have to bend over really far because it's a clawfoot tub, so I try to wash them in the sink in the bathroom for as long as possible. But she's all clean, she's smelling good, she doesn't really appreciate it, but I think she's cute. She's ready to go for the day now, so we're gonna go ahead and get the other kids ready and out of here. I wasn't able to vlog that because Pat stole my phone, as you can see, and I couldn't find it for a little bit, but we did get everybody up and ready to go, and it wasn't too bad. I had to keep the little ones busy so they didn't absolutely destroy the house while I was trying to get the big ones out and ready. So turned on a Mickey Mouse Clubhouse and took out these math manipulatives that they can build with like Legos to keep them busy for about 10 minutes while I finished getting people in the car. The very last thing I needed to do before we get out of here is I need to start the crock pot. We're gonna have a beef roast for dinner tonight, and I like cooking it extra long. We're talking like 10 to 12 hours, so it really just falls apart. This is the last of our beef. We're gonna need to buy another cow here this spring from our friend who raises them. I like to season it, salt, pepper, onion, and garlic powder, give it a nice rub, and then I pour over a jar of our homemade apple syrup, and I just let it cook like that, and it makes a nice crusty coat on the outside that's a little bit sweet, and it's just absolutely delicious. We're just gonna leave it on low and let it go all day and not have to worry about it. We got everybody and everything loaded, and we're gonna head to town. It's about a 40-minute drive. When we get there, we pick up our buy one, get one. I was able to get 6 sandwiches for the cost of 3. And then I just got myself an oatmeal and a coffee, so it's a pretty good deal, and the kids loved it. We don't get to eat out a lot because there's just a lot of us and it gets really expensive, so anytime we do it, it's a real special treat for them. And breakfast kept them busy for a while, and then they were able to use their tablets, and Annie did her therapy, and Georgia just kind of snoozed, and it went really well. Ivy can get it for you, I guess. It's back there. All right. Nanny Banani, how was therapy? You got one more. We gotta come back, okay?
What's that errand?
We have to go drop something off at the UPS store.
We turn on home.
Yep. So we try to get therapies back to back, but every time we have to get like a new prescription to restart, like what insurance requires, it's really hard to get in on the schedule, and they won't schedule you until they have the approval from therapy. So it always ends up with a gap, and then when you first get back in, you kind of get the final or the last pickings as far as schedule time. So you have this kind of weird break. It's 45 minutes. It's too long for Pat to stay in the waiting room, because then you would be there for 2.5 hours. But it's not long enough to do something like go grocery shopping, or even do a grocery pickup, because if they were running slow, we wouldn't get it in time. So we have to bring a package back that we got from Amazon, but that something wasn't the right size to return. So perfect amount of time to return that. It gets everyone out of the waiting room and just kind of drive down the street to do that real quick. And then we have to go back and finish. And then in a few weeks, we'll finally have been on the schedule long enough that we get the spots we want for therapy, which is back to back on a day that we're already in town, not making a special trip. So just these first few weeks are always kind of frustrating, because we end up with weird gaps, and we have to come in usually on a day when we aren't already coming to town. But it's just kind of how the insurance game works. So blame insurance 100% on this. Happens every, I don't know, like every 6 months, whenever insurance requires you to like reassess. But run this errand real quick. We'll do that last therapy, and then we'll see you all back at home, and we'll see what still needs to be done. My parents are on their way. They are in Tennessee, the last I heard, so I think they'll probably be here around 2. So we have just a little bit of things to finish getting ready before they get here, and then the kids and and Sam are super excited to see them when they get here. Okay, so they are closer than I thought. We just got home, and they should be here, I think, maybe 30 minutes. So some of the things I wanted to get done just won't get done, but that's fine. But I do want to get a fire started real fast, because it's kind of cold. Hey, bud, I got to get wood. I'll be right back, okay? Sure. Okay. We got to get some wood so we can get a fire started. It has been really warm this past week, so we haven't had to run the fire at all, which was a nice little break, but it's pretty chilly today, and it's getting down in the low 20s at night, so we definitely need to run the fire at least in the evenings. We weren't here this morning, so we weren't able to start a fire, so it's gotten pretty chilly. So we're going to go ahead and empty out the stove, and then we're going to restack it, and then run the fire for at least a few hours to warm up the house. Our wood stash has done really well this year. It hasn't been super cold. We've had some real cold little spurts, but it hasn't been continuously just freezing cold. So we haven't actually run through that much wood compared to other years, which has been really nice. After I get the fire started, I go ahead and put out lunch for the kids so that I can finish up just a few things before my parents get here. We're just doing hot dogs, oranges, some carrots, and some cucumbers. Pretty simple lunch. Okay, so, yeah, Goops is gonna help me. We're gonna make bread real quick to go with dinner tonight. And I just want to say, I was planning on using my new grain mill and making a recipe I found that used the hard red wheat, grinding it fresh, and some of you are all so smart. So when I made that video about the grain mill, I shared how I was having a problem trying to figure out where to hook it up, because our laminate counters are too thick and it won't clamp, and our table doesn't have a lip and so it won't clamp. And some of you said to open the table up. I didn't even think about that, and remove like one of the leaves from the table because it's a standing table. Genius. And so thank you for that comment, because that worked great. unfortunately, time has kind of gotten away from me, and I don't have time to do the recipe I want. So I'm going to put in just a quick white bread in our bread machine. Goobs is going to help me here, but thank you for that comment, because now I know a really easy way to set up that grain mill whenever I want to use it. So cool. Listen here.
Whoa.
One.
Okay, can I do the next one? Can I do the second? Two.
Good.
Mommy, I'm going to do it.
You ready?
Yes. This is a mess.
There they are. Pat, come up here, buddy. Grammy and Grandpa Dan have made it, and we're ready for our dinner smorgasbord. This is what I call the Mrs. Johnstone special. Do you remember Mrs. Johnstone from church? Very nice lady who always made a million courses, and there was always corn and mashed potatoes. So we're gonna have some roast and some yummies and enjoy our time with Grammy and Grandpa Dan. So we will see you guys all. Yes, they have to spend the night in a hotel because we are just bursting at the seams here. But we are glad they came out and made the ride. So we will see everybody next time.
See you next time. Bye. Bye.